Good morning, my friends. Good morning. I am very excited that you're able to join me today. My name is Tina Kavergich, but you know what? You can always just call me Northern Stamper. I'm a Canadian independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and if you have any questions or you wish to reach me, just drop me an email at northernstamper@gmail.com. I'd be happy to help you. And today, what we're going to be doing is we are making a card using the heirloom arrangement kit. I love this kit. So here are the instructions for the kit itself. Now you could always follow along on the instructions, but I like to go a little bit off and create my own card designs using the kit. I love it. I think it's fantastic because um, everything you need is actually inside. The only thing that I added is some cardstock, which is not crumb cape, sorry, pecan pie cardstock and some basic white. And I've been able to create over 16 cards with this. Now, if you've purchased the Heirlooms arrangement kit with me and been following along, actually coming up at the end of the month and May the 5th, I'm gonna show you some very, very special cards in a private group doing some fancy folds and some cards with these. So hopefully you've been able to grab the heirloom arrangement kit. Absolutely stunning. I think these would be great for like hello cards or get well soon or even sympathy cards. I love, love, love this kit. Everything you want is inside it. Speaking of kits, for Takeaway Tuesday in May, we are using the Painted Wishes. And what's great about this one, there is no stamping for this. And what I'm doing is using everything that's in the kit itself. So everything is inside. And because there's no stamping, the cost of this kit itself is very, very low. Um, if you were to purchase it online, it's $20. But if you purchase it with me, for Takeaway Tuesday in May, it's only $25. I've tossed in shipping and discounted shipping for this kit. So if you're interested in that, comment or let me know at northernstamper@gmail.com. I am happy to send this out. This turned out to be a really great kit to work in. And I'm having a hard time choosing exactly which kits or which cards I'm going to be showcasing for Takeaway Tuesday. So I may just do the regular 4 and then do again a private group for extended cards that I've made with this. Um, I love this. Kits are turning out to be absolutely phenomenal. Now, Stampin' Up! Just announced yet today free shipping. There we go, free shipping on orders if you're Canadian on orders over $100. Now, for April 23rd and 24th, if you've been following my page, I just offered free shipping, and it was actually a little bit less, actually quite a bit less on orders. But on April 23rd and 24th, Stampin' Up! Is offering their own free shipping, but it's on $100 Canadian or more. If you have any questions, drop me an email at northernstamper.com. Drop me like if you have questions on how to maximize your or spending or whether you should buy something, let me know. I can help you out. Also coming tomorrow, which is 75% off all Paper Pumpkin past kits and refills. Now that is an absolute uh, amazing deal. 75% off past kits and refills. Wow, that's fantastic. And if you spend over $100, you get free shipping on that. That is really something. And I'm going to be online very early, 5 o'clock in the morning to get that. So if you have any questions, northernstamper@gmail.com. Now, before we get started with our cards, I wanted to let you know the annual catalog is going live on May the 6th. So if there's anything in here you would like or you would like a catalog, northernstamper@gmail.com. I'm happy to send one out to you. In the meantime, the old catalog is on the clearance or a last chance list, so you don't want to miss anything from there. Okay. One more thing before we get started. Um, I am having a weekend away September 12th to 14th in London, Ontario. Now, it's called a crop, but it's more like I don't want to use the word crop because everybody doesn't quite understand the word crop, but it's an open workshop type of deal. You come for Friday from 6 to midnight, or even longer if you want. Saturday all day, Sunday 6 to 3, and you bring everything that you need. Or if you want to make things that you haven't been able to make at home, like cards, that's a great time to start Christmas cards, scrapbook layouts, anything that you want to work on that's crafty. Okay. It's $125 for that weekend. And I got to tell you, I've been scoping around some other uh, uh, people that have had things out, and I cannot get anything cheaper than 125, and you get a Saturday dinner, Sunday lunch, and if you're staying at the hotel, a hot breakfast every day. I gotta tell you, I you cannot get anything cheaper than this. So $125 for the full weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Friday evening, Saturday, and Sunday. That, like I said, includes dinner and lunch. You get your own 6-foot table and a discount on hotel rooms. Like absolutely, you cannot find anything cheaper than this. I tried. I looked around and I'm already 50% booked. So if you want to join me, 125, drop me an email, northernstamper@gmail.com. It is going to be an absolute fun time. I also will be offering some classes, so if you're interested in that, that's a great way to go. Now, I have to showcase some of these birthday cards that I got this week. I always save them all so I can show them off. I just love this card. Celebrate your card. This I got from Cindy. Thank you very much. I love this paper. Oh, this is I don't know, old paper. I love old paper. I have a whole bunch. I love how she coordinated the Knight of Navy to the cardstock, and the cardstock is coordinated to the darker colors in the DSP. I just love that. It is fantastic. And this is called a fractured card. And if you followed along in my Shapes Weeks, this was one of the challenges. Oh, just love it. Thank you, Cindy, so much for sending that to me. I really appreciate it. Now, this one is from Brittany, and I love this one. It's so many layers on this. Thank you, Brittany. But what is really stunning is her color combination, what she chose, which is gold. And this is all heat embossed, gold heat embossed, and the pink. And you know what? Honestly, I would have never considered this color combination, but Brittany did an amazing job on this. I cannot tell you enough great things. Maybe I'm going to get her to come and teach a class because I just love this card. She did such a great job on this. So many layers, great color choices. Thank you, Brittany, for sending that. I really love it. You can see the shine there on some of the gold there. Oh, just fantastic. Sherry Lou, my very good friend Sherry Lou in the cold white north, sent me this. I believe it was a paper pumpkin kit. Very, very cute. I just love these daisies and how they're all popped up. And the black and the yellow color combination, absolute stunning. Picking up the colors from the bee. Love it. The black really makes it really stand out. Thank you, Sherry Lou. I just love it. It is absolutely fantastic. And I'm telling you, kits are the way to go. I am absolutely loving kits. They're economical and they're great. I left one of the most fancy ones for the end. And now take a look at that. Like, holy moly. This is from my good friend Carol. Carol is very, very talented, and I was very touched when she brought this. Like, holy cow! I just love this. Look, check that out. That is such a cool design. It looks like little steps going up. Very, very nice. Of course, and my favorite color, green. Oh, Carol knows me so well. Thank you so much, Carol. That is an absolute stunning card. I feel so special. Now, Takeaway Tuesday for May, as I mentioned, Takeaway Tuesday for May is the Painted Wishes, and here is one of the card alternatives. I was kind of tooling around with it, and I thought it turned out really cool, kind of interesting design for Takeaway Tuesday. I wanted to give you an idea of what we're going to be doing. So join me for Takeaway Tuesday in May with the Painted Wishes kit. You don't want to miss that. And like I said, everything comes inside. And this time, look, we get ribbon and embellishments. No stamping, but that's okay. Great price for that. All right, give me a thumbs up if you are ready to get started for today's card. I'm going to go through some of the items that we're going to be using. First of all, I have made a basic card base. Oops, gotta make sure I have everything here. A basic card base with pecan pie. Just very basic, score it at 4 1/4. You can make it portrait. You can make it landscape. It really doesn't matter. Okay, so that is pecan pie cardstock. That is the first thing we need to have. Now I have 2 pieces of basic white. Now these are 4 inches by 5 1/4. And there's 2 actually here. Now, what I did is I have a piece of basic white. Now this is going to be for the outside, but inside there are some envelopes. And what I did is I just opened one of the envelopes and I wanted to use this piece on the inside. It's going to go inside just like that. And I wanted to do that because I wanted to see, you notice the hash marks on here? This is a print that's on the envelope itself. And that's what I wanted to use. And I thought that's really nice. It's going to look really nice on the inside of the card. You know what? I don't want to lose this piece. Let's just glue that down. I'm going to add a little bit of glue to each corner. Now, because this is envelope paper, and I'm using liquid glue, just be very light on the liquid glue because the paper is thinner than regular cardstock, and if you add too much, it's going to kind of make it kind of warpy and kind of like that. So just put a few dots. Liquid glue is like super strong. You don't need to use like a whole ton of this, a couple of dots, and it will hold. So we have that for the inside. Look, I think that looks really nice. Add something to it. We can always kind of stamp a little image here if we want a little later. So we have our card base and we've just done the inside. We have our basic white on top. You're going to notice me with a nice frame. I don't know. I think I'm obsessed. People, I think I have OCD with having frames around everything. I don't know about you, but I think that's just me. They also have a little sentiment tag that comes with that. So set that aside, a sentiment tag. We're going to be looking through the ephemera packs. Now, all of my ephemera packs started falling apart because I started using them. And I'm just going to show you, are you looking for a little butterfly? I'm going to use the little pink one. And there's a tag, a green tag. And then there's a pretty peacock type tag. Now, I didn't punch out these little holes yet. And then there's a little image of these, what are they? They're pansies, right? It's like an old olive kind of imprint of pansies. I believe these are pansies on here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so these are the 4 items we're going to be using. Those are the elements we're going to be using. Okay, and of course, if you have any ribbon or twine or anything, you can grab some of that. I'm going to go through. So I got a stash of ribbon. Like, I don't know. Here it is, my stash of ribbon. I'm just going to go through and I'm going to grab something from there, and I am just going to grab, what am I going to grab? I want some kind of twine, so I'm just going to grab a little piece of twine that's in there. Okay, so that's just adding in. I'm going to be using it on the little tags there. Okay, so those are the elements that we have. Before we get started, what I want to do is I can leave this piece of basic white on here. It'll look fine. It'll look okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But you know what? I always love the look of embossing. So I'm going to emboss that piece of basic white, and I'm going to be using the mini corrugated 3D embossing folder. I haven't tried it yet, so this is my first time. So I'm going to run it through the embossing machine, and let's see how that goes. Okay, I've done that. Oh my goodness, look at that. So there it is. Looks like little lines. Gonna take it. Oh my goodness. It reminds me of the inside of a box. That is actually very cool. That is very cool. I think it's gonna look really cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that piece of basic white, and it's gonna go on the front. That's really cool. Okay, I'm really kind of surprised. Like, honestly, I haven't used this book, embossing folder yet, so it looks really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm not wrapping ribbon around it, so I am going to be gluing this down. Why did I just turn that over? They're white on both sides, and I do this every time. Whenever it's a piece of basic white, I always flip it over, and it's guess what? It's exactly the same on the other side. Ah, funny things that we do. I'm going to glue that down. There we go, nicely in the middle. Okay, there we go. See, this card is coming together really quick. These ephemera packs really do add quite a bit. Now what I can do is add some of the elements, the ephemera elements. And I'm just going to poke out these holes. Okay, put one here. I'm going to pop these out. I'm just going to lay these down so you get an idea of what we're doing here. And then we'll put this one on the front. Now, I think that needs a little bit of twine or ribbon. And like I said, I just grabbed whatever was in my stash. You know, crafters, they, I think they all have a little bit of crafting stash somewhere. Hands up if you've got a box of crafting stash. All right. So I'm going to use these pieces of twine. I think the twine will look really good because it's not a heavy type of ribbon. Right, gonna pop that in there. You can make a bow, or you can just kind of weave it through like that and make a little tag. I'm gonna do that for both of the little tags. Okay, pop them through. Oops, I think my hands are a little stiff. Maybe it's because it's a little chilly down here in the basement. I'm just gonna make them into a little knot just because I don't want them to come apart. Just make a little knot. Okay, here we go. Oops. There we go. Okay. So I have those on there like that, and I'm going to kind of angle them a little bit on the piece of white. Right, there we go. And I'm going to have these ones flat because the one on top is going to have the height, so that's the one that's going to have the dimensionals on behind it. Let's just glue these guys down. And I'm just going to glue down in the center. I find that when I glue on the edges, I don't know about you, somehow always the glue always escapes, gets everywhere. Like I said, you only need a little bit of this Tombow glue. It is very strong. And we're going to put that down a little bit. There we go. Ah, it's coming together. Now, let's get our dimensionals, and I'm just going to add a few. Again, I'm placing them in the center because what I want to do is, remember that little tag? I'm going to shove it underneath and kind of hide it underneath. Let's get these guys on here. And I'm going to put that kind of straddling both of those little tags. Oh, it's coming together. I am also going to get that little butterfly, and he is also going on dimensionals. And I'm just going to have him kind of going off a little bit. Kind of a little off on the tag, kind of floating away. So that's something that I learned in art class. Remember grade 9 art class? All these little tips. All that we need to do now is stamp our sentiment. And there's a few sentiments that we can choose from. Thankful and grateful. I appreciate you. Thank you. I'm going to, let's see, take this one. Whenever I stamp, I always make sure that to make sure the stamp fits on whatever I'm putting it on, I'll just lay the stamp on top, and there it goes. It fits right on top of that tiny little piece of tag. Now, this week as opposed to last week, I found a block so I don't have to use my bone folder. So I'm going to ink that up with pecan pie ink. And I'm just going to stamp on here. There we go. This is very, very simple. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this in and I'm going to have it like tuck in a little bit. But here's the trick: when you're placing it down, I want to give a little bit of height. So I'm going to give height and I'm going to put some dimensionals behind that sentiment and add it in. I'm going to tuck it in a little bit, just a little bit, so it looks like it's coming out. I'll bring it down a bit. There we go. Now, I think this needs just a couple of embellishments. So I went through some of my stash. Where did my embellishments go? And I found some old embellishments, and I can add those in. Oops. Let's go add one there. Now, these were some old embellishments that I had from last year. It's amazing how they turned out to match this. Here we go, 2, and I'm going to put another one, and 3. And you know what? Let's give a little bit of sparkle to that butterfly with some Wing Pastella. I'm just going to paint his little wings for a little bit of shine. There we go. Very, very simple card. You know what? With the kits, you can come up with so many different designs. I think they are a really good alternative if you want to keep small crafting, but yet make a big impact. There we go. And I'm going to show you the same card, but using a different background. I really like this corrugated embossing folder. That turned out really cool. When I started, the first card I did had the circles. It's a round circle embossing folder. I think that turned out really good, but I think with this one, I didn't add the twine like I did the first one. There we go. I think they turned out really good. I think the embossing folder really makes a difference. What do you think? Which one do you like better? Do you like the corrugated one or the ones with the dots on the side around the edge? Oh, I can't make a decision. I love them both. Anyways, thank you for joining me. My name is Tina Kavrgich. Honestly, if you have any questions, northernstamper@gmail.com. I am so happy to chat with anybody. If you are living close to me, I am in the Durham region, drop me an email at northernstamper@gmail.com. Let's come on over and craft. My craft room is usually open, and I am thrilled to have you come over and spend some time with me. Anyways, until next time, my friends, I am off to the post office to mail some goodies to some very special people. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. And don't forget to keep on crafting.